Hey everyone, it's Chad Hasty of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 790 a.m. KFYO and online at KFYO.com. We've obviously been talking a lot about gun control this past week. On the show today, I will have on U.S. Senator John Cornyn. He's going to join me. He's going to talk a little bit about what the Senate has been discussing as far as gun control goes. Senator Cornyn has an amendment that he will offer up that basically says if you are on a terror watch list, then it's a 72-hour wait. If the FBI has investigated you, it's a 72-hour wait. You have to go through some extra clearance, I guess. We'll get all the details from Senator Cornyn a little bit later on the program. I invite you to tune in. He will air 10:15 a.m. Central Time if you're not in Lubbock. You can listen online at KFYO.com. Obviously, like I said, we've been talking a lot about guns this week. The Democrats are using a terrorist attack in Orlando to go after people's guns and really go after the Second Amendment. Democrats have put forward this idea that if we put forward a list, then all of a sudden this magical no-buy list, which is copied from the no-fly list, is going to stop terrorism in this country. Folks, it's not going to. They come up with this idea of the gun show loophole, and closing that is somehow going to stop gun violence. Go back to the other shootings that have happened. No one really bought their guns from a gun show. They stole their guns. You look at the Sandy Hook killer. He killed his mother. He didn't go and buy those guns at a gun show. He killed his mother and stole her guns to use them on those children at Sandy Hook Elementary. Had nothing to do with the gun show. The killer, the terrorist in Orlando, had nothing to do with a gun show. The FBI had investigated this guy. He was on a list, but then the FBI took his name off a list because I guess they didn't want to investigate him any further. Did the FBI drop the ball? I guess that's an investigation that we'll wait and see play out. But this guy wouldn't have been stopped in Orlando from buying the gun that he bought, either of them. So this is, it's a really, the question that we have to look at as far as the no-fly list, the no-buy list, you don't have a constitutional right to fly in this country or to travel in this country, but you do have a constitutional right to have a gun. You do have a constitutional right to own and own a gun, I believe carry a gun as well, to defend yourself, to defend your family, to defend your home, to defend your property. You do have that right in this country. What this no-buy list would do, in some cases, not in every case, obviously, but you go back to the no-fly list, it wasn't perfect. You had 8-year-olds that turned up on the list. Yet, hell, Ted Kennedy showed up on the list, and he wasn't able to fly. So the lists aren't perfect, is what I'm trying to say. And thinking that somehow we're going to combat terrorism by coming up with this list, it's foolish. Even if every single terrorist in the world were listed on this, they would still use bombs to kill people because terrorists want to kill people. They want to kill you. They want to kill me. They want to kill all those who love peace in this world. They want to kill those who are straight, those who are gay. They want to kill those who do not believe like them. Something else that I've seen and that I want to address real quickly in the media lately has been this idea that it's so easy to buy a gun. In fact, CNN had a piece yesterday about how easy it was to buy a gun. CBS this morning, yesterday morning, had a piece out about how their producer of, I guess, their talk show was able to walk in, throw down a little over $1,000, and walk away with something like this, right here. An AR-15, or what they later said was an AR-style assault weapon. Well, this is not an assault weapon. This right here that I have in my hands that I just bought this week from SS Outfitters in Levelland, my good friends, this is not an assault weapon. It is not. It is not an assault weapon. Just because it's scary looking doesn't mean it's an assault weapon. Look, I'm holding it right here. Nothing has happened. This gun is not scary. Here, I'll kind of back away. Look at that. That's not a scary gun, okay? It's not an assault weapon. You have those in the media who have asked, okay, why is it so easy to buy this gun? Well, I would offer up this as one of the reasons why it's easy to buy a gun. It's not easy. When I walked in, of course, I have my license to carry here in the great state of Texas, which means I've gone through a background check. I've gone through a couple of background checks. I had to fill out paperwork. And yeah, after I paid some money, I walked away with this beauty right here. Absolutely. What a great gun. It's a, by the way, Smith & Wesson Sport 2 is the gun that I bought. For those asking why it's so easy, you got to remember this. It's only easy for responsible citizens. It's only easy for those who have gone through background checks and they're okay to buy a gun. The FBI says, you're fine. We have nothing on you. You're good to go. You're a responsible citizen. We trust you to buy a gun. That's when it turns easy. So why are people mad that it's easy to buy a gun, especially some of these news media companies? Why are they so upset that it's easy for their people to buy a gun? Doesn't that just mean that they actually hired good employees? I think so. For those who are felons, for those who have a record, for those who have committed crimes in the past, it's not easy to buy a gun. In fact, for felons, it's impossible for you to go to a gun store and buy a gun. It's impossible. You can't do it. So, you know, this whole idea that it's easy to walk in and buy a gun, CNN said it's easier to get a gun than get a passport. Again, one is constitutional right. The other, you're dealing with the federal government. Yeah, you're dealing with the government in order to get your passport. Good luck on that wait. And guess what? It's not hard to get a passport. It's time consuming, but it's not hard. They say that it's easier to buy a gun than a divorce. Again, a lot of government paperwork there. Hey, hello, government. They also said it's easier to buy a gun than it is flu medicine. Really? I can just walk into Walgreens and get whatever medicine I want. Not that hard. This takes a background check. This gun right here, a background check in order to buy this. And guess what? Folks, I've had this since Tuesday. It hasn't walked around. It hasn't shot anyone accidentally because it itself doesn't hurt people. It's the people who are jihadists, radical Muslims. They're the ones who, when they pull the trigger, they're the ones responsible. Those are the type of people we need to be going after. Radical Islamic terrorists. That's who we need to focus our attention on. Not the Second Amendment, not restricting me from purchasing another one of these. No, that's silliness. It accomplishes absolutely nothing. And it actually allows terrorism to control our lives. And that, to me, is very disappointing. See, look, right there, I was very responsible putting my gun away. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show, weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 790 a.m. KFYO. Listen online, KFYO.com. And don't forget, you can subscribe below to our KFYO YouTube page. Have a great weekend, folks, and I'll talk to you Monday.